What is up, guys? Yeah, I just wanted to shoot a little quick video. I have a 2-hour drive all the way to Connecticut to see one of my buddy's shows. I honestly do not want to do the drive, but I love him, so I gotta go and support my man. I'm gonna help him film the whole thing. I wanted to get something off my chest, a thing that has been really infuriating. I have talked about this before. I really despise going into the city. If you don't know, I live in Massachusetts. And Boston, I live almost nearly an hour away, and just going there, it is a long trek. And it's not really just a drive. Boston's always been like that ever since I was a kid. It is just the people advocate to make it worse every single year. It is absolutely destroying the state, and it's destroying entertainment in the entire area. And it is mainly due to wokeness. And it's a very sad thing to see, because I would like to live in a state where I think I could go around and entertain as many people as I can. But there are just so many areas that I wouldn't even attempt or don't even want to go into, because one, they're incredibly dangerous. Two, there's just no protection at all. And three, it is just so astronomically expensive to do anything. Now, if you guys had a chance, you checked out my video when I went to go see a Aussie Wind show. I went there on a Thursday night completely alone by myself. I didn't buy any food. All I got was a bottle of water, one seat bottle of water, and that was it. I spent almost $200 doing all of that alone. If I brought my wife, like, oh my god, like $200, that's like a steal for everything. But no, the tickets weren't $200. It was like parking was like $20. The ticket itself to watch the show was $100. It was like $100, and then I also got charged a $30 service fee, which I thought was fucking insane. And yeah, the tickets weren't even $100. It was $150. Now, yeah, that's why it was almost $200. And I didn't even have any food. I went there with like a bag of nuts and then came right back to my house and had dinner. It is such the saddest thing in the world. And I want you to go over a few things, because there are so many other stories that are going on that I don't even see people here talking about it. I see it through like libs of TikTok, other people who want to discuss the issues that's going on around in New England. No one here wants to talk about it. Like, if I circle back into the crime aspect of everything, we all know the last few years that the media will go out of their way to protect the most evil, vile people, even though that they're in the wrong, especially if they have the correct, I don't know, pronouns or mental illness or skin color. Like, if you have someone in a Christmas parade and they just mow down numerous people, the media will quickly just not really acknowledge it or talk about it for 2 seconds and like sweep it under the rug if they find out that the driver was black. People really heard about it because his courtroom proceedings were just so crazy and unhinged.
And for doing so, he was convicted of statutory sexual seduction, pled guilty in March of 2007 to that felony offense, and is a sex offender on the registry as a result. So if there's any causation that would lead to Erica Patterson being a bad mom, Mr. Brooks has a direct role in that causation.
And that's
Furthermore,
I'll object to that.
I'm not
because
done.
That's a lie.
Let him
Because at
finish.
the end of the day,
Let him finish,
if we gonna open the door
Mr.
on that, no,
Brooks.
since he want to make a record and not be accurate, so let's be accurate all on the record. Since you think you know so much,
Once
so
again,
we can
Mr.
open the
Brooks
door
is
on.
being
We can
loud,
open the door on how old she told me she
disrespectful,
was when we
interrupting.
met. We can ask that question
He is
too. Then
over the
Did you
top
ask that?
animated
Do you
right
know
now.
that?
Mr. Brooks, I'm ordering you to sit down and to let the state
no,
finish.
no, I'm not going to sit here and let somebody be inaccurate on the record and lie on the record.
Right. Under Illinois versus Allen, I've warned him repeatedly. He's being removed from the courtroom. And you know what? Let me dial that back. We're just going to take an early lunch, 1 hour. We'll be back. And unless he brings that letter and he can show it is inadmissible, she will not be questioned. And under 906.11, I will declare the cross-examination closed. Thank you. We're in recess. 1 hour.
Get your facts straight. So let's open the door on all of it then, so we can get all of it on the record. Since you think you know so much.
But it really got no coverage other than like Tim Pool and all the independent media places. Like an example here, 6 people were stabbed at a restaurant and a movie theater, including 4 girls. Now new details are emerging about the suspect. It's so weird that they don't put anything about the suspect. I knew it was a man who thought he was a woman and going around stabbing children. And it's very weird that I didn't really see anything about this on the news. I saw it on Libs of TikTok. And 26, my God, dude, you look like you're pushing 50. Holy, it's a suspect. That person's 26? What the fuck? Jared? All right, bro. I gotta get a better pic of this person. Yeah, does this look mentally sound at all? Does this look mentally... And the thing that is really horrifying, I used to work across the street from this movie theater. There's a mall called the Braintree Mall. I worked there for a few years. Also, even before all of this, like years ago, I think it was around 2018, I was hanging out with my girlfriend at the time, now my wife. I was hanging out with my wife. I get a call from one of my coworkers, and he was like, "Oh, hey, bro, there was just a shooting inside the mall." And I can't remember the whole entire details, but there was a shooting there. And luckily I had the day off. And a few years later, there was another shooting after I got laid off from that job due to COVID. But it is just insane how terrible and awful the violence is just in like Boston by itself. And I get booked every so often. I probably go to Boston maybe like 5-6 times out of the year to do a gig. And I hate it, especially when you're going there during the afternoon. There's an area called Massancas. It's essentially where the Boston Hospital is there. It's kind of like when you first enter the city, when you get off the highway. I honestly, and to be completely honest, I haven't seen it as bad as I did about a year or 2 ago. There were just homeless people everywhere. All over the place, not even joking. There were tents set up on the sidewalks. There were homeless people walking in the streets. There was one corporate gig where I was driving and there was one guy roaming in the streets, and I got some footage of it. Look at that, graffiti everywhere. I do not remember Boston being covered in so much trash art, but yeah, let me continue driving. It is just so horrifying to go there. It is just awful. Michelle Wu, that awful piece of garbage. And funny enough, I've gotten an email from like her team asking me if I want to perform at some event she was at. I just ignored it. I'm the type of I part of me wish I could tell them to go fuck themselves, but I'm just not going to do that. I'm just like, oh, nope, just not even going to acknowledge it. These policies are destroying the city and everyone's lives around them. Nothing's affordable. Everything's taken from the actual citizen and just given to people who don't live here. Oh yeah, our entire airport is like just littered with illegal aliens. Michelle Wu said that she just won't prosecute a bunch of crimes. She wants to turn Boston into California, the absolute shithole that it is. You see nothing but people just walking around, shooting each other, mugging people, beating men, beating women. There are even stories of people just walking up and just attacking children at random, and it's just so absolutely insane. And how people are not talking about this more, and this is it's killing the city. It's killing everything. I don't even want to go out. I don't even want to go anywhere near it. I have not been to New York in about 4 years. I haven't been to New York in 4 years, technically. The last time I went was in Long Island. One of my buddy who's having a show today. Actually, you can't even see his posters way up there for that show. Yeah, he had a show there, and I helped him out with that. But I haven't been to like this actual city since like 2018, and I went 5 times that year. If Boston from Massachusetts to New York is about a 4-hour drive. I've always thought about doing gigs there because those also pay very, very well. Now, I don't think I would ever go to New York to do another gig because it is just so. You think Boston is bad. they have National Guard in their train stations. I don't know if it's still the case, but like a few months ago, if you guys didn't hear, there are like they had the National Guard down there because there are people just getting stabbed and pushed on to like the train tracks, which is so wild. And they won't even, they're also having the same exact problem of constantly letting people out, arresting people, immediately letting them out, arresting people, immediately letting them out. And it's just, they want society to crumble. They're doing it on purpose, and it's just so infuriating to see. Oh yeah, also they're trying to do drag shows for kids. A lot of pedophiles trying to do that. That's why I don't like to do school events, especially because a lot of them are just indoctrination camps. They live off of stolen money. A lot of them are just groomers. Oh, I almost forgot about this before I move on to New York. Cambridge, a really big city. It's like a very like nerdy part of Mass. Like a lot of people go from people from MITs and doctors and stuff. These people have the most retarded idea, which was like the biggest meme of like 2020, and they manifest it because they're, like I said, retarded. They are gonna send out unarmed social workers to 911 calls. That is the thing. I was just like, you know what? I'm done. I don't think I would ever go back to the city because I grew up here. I used to go to school in South Boston. You see all types of gangs, Asian gangs, black gangs, and people do not play around. And they're just going to send out unarmed people. Did they not hear about the person who's going around stabbing children in Braintree? And you're going to send people to... I can't. I just can't anymore. I just can't. Oh, yep, look. This is all the way back in January. Yep, Logan Airport. Yep, and you have a bunch of insane people with, and like, yeah, this whole thing with we have a huge Jewish population in Massachusetts, so what, doing this is pretty bold, but people do it all in New York too. I do get offers for gigs in New York City. I just had another one yesterday, but they only wanted 30 minutes. I'm like, I'm not driving 8 hours to do like a 30-minute show. You're gonna pay me like over $1,000. Other than that, I'm not even gonna consider it. And I knew that was gonna be an astronomical number. But yeah, shit like this constantly going on in New York. People blocking streets, people advocating for shit they do absolutely no research on, and they just the colleges are just brainwashing camps. And you guys know what I'm trying to say, but it's just shit like this. It's people, they flood in a bunch of people, so many illegals. The system is just all crammed up. The system is filled with people who just don't care. Everyone just likes to block the streets, and everything's run off of emotion. And yeah. Sorry, it's just me ranting, but this is like a cathartic video for me because I just see everything around me just crumbling, and it's just, what are you doing? I'm trying to make a career where I am comfortable going around, finding different venues where I can entertain people. I like to get along, but there are just people out there that just hate you, hate where they live, hate everything just around them, and they want to destroy it. And I don't think these people would ever be understood. They have absolutely no purpose other than just destroying everything. Because I guess it's more of that they're miserable. They need to make you as miserable as possible too. And this ideology is just destroying all of New England. And I wish I could move. I can't afford it. It is nearly impossible. Everything I know and have is all in New England, and it's just, I don't know. I'm just stuck in a rock and a hard place, and I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? Just comment below. Like, what do you think is happening, or do you think things might get better? But yeah, that's really it. Rant over. So I'll see you next time. Next time it might be another rant. I don't know. But yeah, peace.